Well, Mike Lindell is back to blaming everybody but himself for his problems. So let's let Manda break it down because she's done more work on Mike Lindell than anybody I know. She is better on the Mike Lindell subject than anybody I know. So take it away, Manda.
So Lindell is now claiming that MyPillow had to move because a woke company bought his building.
As you all know by now, we had to move. A woke company bought our building, so we had to move into a new factory.
That's a really strong claim that another company came in and bought his building out from under him because they're too woke, especially since there's already a very different and well-documented pattern around MyPillow. So let's start with what's already confirmed, a warehouse eviction in Shakopee. A judge ordered a removal after $217,000 in unpaid rent. That wasn't political, that was a landlord going to court over unpaid bills, and it wasn't an isolated event. MyPillow has also been sued over unpaid shipping costs. $9 million in one case involving FedEx, and additional disputes over other carriers like DHL and whatnot. There have also been reported financial pressures tied to loans, and cash flow interests including high-interest financing arrangements and repayment disputes. And separately, this company faced legal and regulatory scrutiny beyond just creditors. The Minnesota Attorney General has been involved in multiple investigations into Lindell-linked organizations, including questions related to compliance and financial practices. So when Lindell says that they had to move the company because of political, woke, whatever, we're missing something incredibly important. There is no direct reporting as to why he had to move buildings, but what we do see is a pattern of financial strain, unpaid obligations, and restructuring across many parts of his business, including having to sell off multiple assets like his equipment factory and his plane. So that's where this question comes in. If a company is already dealing with unpaid rent, shipping lawsuits, loan disputes, and regulatory investigations, is the building move really about politics? Or is it maybe part of a longer story about consolidation, financial pressures, and bad business practices? Because moving buildings in the same area isn't a takeover. It's not woke anything. But the unpaid bills and paper trail of court filings, that's the very real part. Maybe it's time for him to, take accountability for his actions instead of blaming others.
He won't, but he should. But this is what happens when you hitch your wagon to Donald Trump's big lie, which is what brought down Mike Lindell. Mike Lindell was a fucking crackhead and down and out, and he got himself out of that. He was still batshit crazy. He was, screaming right-wing conspiracy shit. He got himself out of that, and he built himself a life. And then he hitched his wagon to the 2020 election lie, and he has lost everything as a result. And he won't stop. He just won't stop. Nobody caused Mike Lindell to have to move other than Mike Lindell. Nobody caused Mike Lindell to have to sell off assets or to take out additional high-risk loans or to get sued by various carriers or have his products pulled from shelves other than Mike Lindell. The person responsible for Mike Lindell's problems is Mike Lindell.